welcome to my class. Hi guys, my name's Taylor Everett and I am the instructor here for Leaps and Turns on Mondays from 6:30 to 7:30 and the lyrical class from 7:30 to 8:30. I'm also the choreographer and director for our lyrical team, Nobility, which is practiced on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I'm so glad that you're joining me for E-class. And I'm hoping to do a turns and techniques in your house type class. So we're not going to use a whole bunch of space. In fact, I'm going to use the amount of space I have in these two blocks, I'll call them, just to give us some realistic boundaries for the amount of space you might have in your home or your bedroom. So nothing too crazy today, but I hope that this helps you out to keep us busy during this pandemic. I hope you're staying safe and staying healthy, practicing social distancing, and all that fun stuff. So happy you are to join me today. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a full stretch, starting from the head all the way to our toes. So go ahead and just follow me, okay? We're going to go ahead and turn our head to the left, my left, your right. And go ahead and rotate to the other side, and we're just going to keep switching through. Do this about 8 times. Perfect. And then we're going to look up to the ceiling. Awesome. Down to our toes. Back up to the ceiling, and again, just flip through those two about 8 times. Very good. Now I'm going to rotate my neck. We're going to do a full circle. Just our neck. Do that about 2 to 3 times. Then we're going to start incorporating our body. Yes? Starting from the neck, going into our shoulders. I'll do a full rotation at the shoulders. Then I'll start incorporating my back. Go into the back, arch as far as you can. Then we're going to start coming down to our knees. Yeah, hands will start to dip to our knees. Comes down to our shins. Every time we do a full rotation, we're actually going to get lower and lower. So now I'm at my ankles, coming all the way back, through, touching my toes, and all the way over. So at this point, we should be doing full rotations coming across this muscle here, pulling my arm back, reaching over with the opposite arm, really stretching this muscle here, and coming across. And again, good. Once we've done about 2 or 3 full rotations, I'm actually going to start shortening it. So I'm going to go back to my ankles, rotate through, back to my shins, and rotate back to my knees, and rotate back to my hips, and rotate my back, shoulders, neck. And once you're good and you feel like you're nice and balanced, we're actually going to hold our neck here and slowly rise back up. Great, awesome. I hope you did okay with that. We're going to do the other side now. So we're going to rotate over to our left head about 2 or 3 times. Good, start incorporating the shoulders. And our back. Go down to my knees. Really reach across. Pull that body up. Down to my toes, all the way up. Now I'm starting to come back up to my shins. Good, to my knees, to my hips, to my shoulders. This should help loosen up those muscles that have been sitting watching TV for the last couple days. once we're good and we need some balance, we're just gonna hang here, open your eyes, and slowly raise up. Great, awesome. I hope that went really well for you. You should be starting to feel loosey-goosey at this point. So we're really shaking off the dust, okay? We're gonna start opening our chest up. So we're gonna pull our chest up to the front, and we're gonna crunch in, really pull those ab muscles in, sink into that. You should look pretty silly at this point. We're gonna open our chest like a superhero, really pull that gut into your spine, and you should feel that in through your muscles. So really, really push those shoulder blades back and back in. And we'll do that about 5 times, okay? So we're going 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, again, 1, 2, good. Yeah, starting to feel that. Now we're gonna do side to side, okay? So it's really important we keep our hips nice and square. All I'm doing is pushing this top half of my chest over to the side, okay? This might be difficult for some of you who have not done this before, but give it a try, okay? So we're gonna hold our hips down, use those hands, hold them down. We're gonna push our chest out to the side. Very good. You should feel a pull here. We're gonna go to the other side. Good. Very nice. Other side. Good. And we're just gonna keep rotating just like this, isolating those shoulders and that chest. Yeah, so left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to incorporate all 4 of those positions. Starting from the front, we're going to push our chest out, go to the right, bring it back, to the left, to the front. One more time, to the right, to the back, to the left, to the front. All right, to the right, back, left, and forward. Switch it up. Go left, and back, and right, and forward. Go left, and back, and right, and forward. Break it down. Go forward, back, forward, back. Good. Forward, back, forward, and back. And switch it up. Right, and left, and right, and left, and right, and left. Hey, nice. Let's actually do some full rotation. So I'm gonna stick my chest out. Woo! Bring it around town. There we go. Do a couple of those. I'd say about 4 nice big circles. Really loosen that chest up. You definitely have to use your knees for this. Let's do it to the right. To the right. Oh yeah, there we go. Loosen up that back muscle. Good. Do about 4 of these, and we should be good to move on. Good. Now we got our chest. We're going to bring it down to our hips, okay? Let's do some hip circles. Good. Really use those hips. Swing them around town. I normally come up on a forced arch and really swing that hip around. I'm using that hip muscle to push it out to the side. Good. Awesome. Do the other side. Good. Really rotate those hips. Good. We're going to do a right and a left and a right and a left and a chop, 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 chop. Just kidding. Awesome. We got our hips nice and moving, and we'll get to the feet in just a minute. So we're actually going to take a deep breath in and down. Good. And back up. Breathe in. Ah, hello, flowers. And back up. Awesome. Let's go ahead and open up. We're going to reach and reach and reach, and we're going to come across. The very important part about this is try not to let your hip jut out like this. You're not going to stretch anything if you don't pull that hip in. So we're actually going to square up our hips just like we did with our chest movement. Make sure those hips are nice and square, and then you'll reach. Reach over with your arms and really, really pull that arm over so you can get the good stretch right here. Good. We're going to flat back, so I'm just rotating my feet into a parallel position. I rotate my body, I'm going tail down, yes, flat as I can. And my neck should continue to make a nice straight line here. Hold this for about 8 seconds. Good, and then release. Head to toe. Good, come up on forced arch. And back down. And forced arch. And come down. And up. And down. Good. Now we're going to rotate our foot over, turn it out. We're going to plie and keep this leg nice and straight. Come back up. Good. And back down. Rotate this about 2 to 3 times. And up. And back down. And up. So now I'm actually going to go into a lunge. The important part about lunging is making sure that our knee is directly over our ankle. We don't want to be too far over. We don't want to be too far back, okay? So make sure that we're making a straight line from our knee to our ankle. Go ahead and hold this for about 8 to 10 seconds. I do like this song. Good. We're going to put our knee down, straighten the front leg. Make sure that we're keeping this leg at 90 degrees. Yeah. Don't sit on it. Yeah. Stay up 90 degrees and keep this knee nice and straight. Point those toes. Yeah. And then you're going to go ahead and go nose to knee. Hold this for about 8 to 10 seconds. Good. Come back into the lunge position. Leave your knee on the floor. Good. And back up. Good. And back. And last round. And forward. Very good. We're going to rotate our legs in front. Simply raise the foot off the floor and sit into this front lunge, okay? So we're sitting back onto our feet. My heel is planted on the ground. I'm very flexible, so if you're not quite here yet, that's okay. Go ahead and stay up in this position here, okay? Make sure you're pointing those toes. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and rotate over to the other side. You can use your hands if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and use my hands. If you can, you're more than welcome to go ahead and lift yourself up and over. Yeah. And we'll just do the other side. Good. Go ahead and rotate into your lunge. Up and over. We're just going to stay knee up. Remember, keep that nice straight line from your knee to your ankle. Good. Go ahead and put your knee down. And straighten the front knee. Woo. Go ahead and lunge. And lunge. Good. Good. Come back up into parallel. Foot up on 4 starch. And back down. 4 starch. And down. 4 starch. Back down. Very good. Go ahead and rotate up and over. Good. And we're just going to bring it back. Keep those hips nice and square and really reach with that arm. Good. Flat back. Rotate those feet. And down. Nice straight line. Good. And then go ahead and fall. We're going to rotate in to center. Make sure our feet are nice and parallel. And we're just going to hold this for about 10 seconds. Good. We're going to slowly come back up. Good. All right. So that's a good beginning stretch. We're actually going to come back down to the floor here. So we're going to take a seat. Woo! Let's get those feet warmed up. So we're going to rotate, alternate our feet, point and flex. Yeah, really flex and really point as hard as you can to get a good warm-up stretch. Do that a couple times. It's okay if it pops, it's perfectly normal. Good, so now I'm gonna flex as hard as I can, really push those toes up to the ceiling. And then I'm gonna point as hard as I can and really try and get those toes to touch the floor. And flex. Good, and point, yeah? Let's go ahead and isolate our feet. So I'm gonna go toes up and feet as hard as I can, and then I'm gonna go toes to the ceiling, really push my feet into the floor. My toes are still up, still facing the ceiling, and then I'm gonna go ahead and point my toes, yeah? So we're gonna isolate those feet. Those are gonna help for our releves when we do our turns. So we're gonna point our toes to the ceiling, really pull up, go ahead and push down, and here. At this point in the video, you can pause and do as many as you think you need to warm up your feet. Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and pause the video, go ahead and stretch those feet out and then jump right back in. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and start rotating our feet. So I'm going to relax my feet, give them a good wiggle. We're going to do some feet circles, yeah? So really make sure you're pulling all the way to the side and back up, yeah? So point as hard as you can when you need to and flex when you need to. Give a good 5 to 10 circles and then rotate to the other side. Good. See if you can alternate inside out or outside in. Usually that's kind of a tongue twister for people. Awesome. So I think we're good on the feet. Let's go ahead and point our toes really hard. Really raise up from the back, okay? So when we're doing this stretch here, we want to make sure that our backs are nice and stretched. Chest is up, neck is up. We're pulling from the back, okay? Try not to slouch like this. Yeah, doesn't help our core. We want to engage our core. So really tighten that core up, pull in. We're going to pull our arms up to the ceiling and reach as far as you can go. Really breathe in deep. Good, roll up. We're going to do the same thing, flex your feet now. Pull up with your chest, tighten that core. Pull our arms up to the ceiling and pull at our toes. You might want to wash your hands after this. Good, and roll up. Good, awesome. So let's go ahead and open up into a full straddle. Really shake those legs out. If you can open up really wide, that's great. If you're right here, that's awesome too. We all have our levels. We're all working towards that, okay? So we're gonna point our feet extra hard. We're gonna do the same motion. Pull to the sides. Good, and we're gonna go up and over. Really reach for the sky there. And fall. Hold this for about 8 seconds. From there, we're gonna rotate over. Touch our toes, nose to your knee. If you are already at nose to knee, try to put your nose on the floor. Good. From here, we're gonna crawl over to the center. Now, we're gonna do our holds here in straddle. Really try not to let your feet fall forward like this, okay? We wanna try and keep that turnout pretty good. So we're gonna point really hard. We're gonna pull our hips back. So really tighten those booty muscles, pull those cheeks back, yeah? And that's gonna help you with that turnout as well. It's gonna help keep the hips back. So we're gonna reach over, we're gonna crawl to the center. Yeah, keep your arms out in front of you and pull, pull, pull as hard as you can. Try and keep that turnout from turning in, yeah? Good. Go ahead and keep crawling over. And nose to knee. Awesome. Go ahead and rotate out. Perfect. And come up. Beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and do a butterfly. Bring those knees in. We're gonna smell those stinky feet. I hope you cleaned your feet. Go ahead and put your nose to your knee. And really think about turning those hips out. Good. Awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and do some split stretches. I'm gonna start off with the middle stretch since I'm already here. I'm gonna do some frogs, what we call in class. So you're basically just gonna come out into this position here. Yeah, all fours. You're gonna go ahead and extend your knees out as far as you can. I have my middle splits, so I just fall onto the floor. Yeah, some people will be up here. That's perfectly fine too. Okay, the important part is that we're not too far forward. If I come out to the side, we don't want to be too far out forward. Yeah, we don't want to be too far back. Okay, we want to be right in the middle. So just make sure you hold this for however long you can. I usually tell my students to do about 15 to 30 seconds, depending on how well they can hold it. Go ahead and pause the video and stretch. You want to do about 2 to 3 reps of these for about 15 to 30 seconds. Awesome. So if you're done with this, we're actually going to go in from the frog. We'll go into our straddle actually. So we're going to go into the straddle and we're actually going to fall over into the middle split, okay? If you're up here, that's perfectly fine. You're just going to have to use your hands to push you up into this stretch, okay? And you'll have to hold it from here. I have my middle split, so I just have to fall over and I can hang out on my elbows. If you are here and you don't feel a stretch anymore, feel free to overstretch. Be very careful though, and don't do anything that's out of your limits, okay? You definitely want to do something that's not going to harm you, okay? If you are here in a stretch and you're like, I don't feel a stretch, but I kind of do, please do not try to throw your leg up on a table, okay? Or a chair that's high. You might want to start off with just the leg here as a good base, yeah? Normally what I would do if I was home is put a nice comfy pillow here, extend my leg over the side, and then go ahead and just fall into the splits. So I'll come up on my elbows, extend, and go into my splits. And you should be able to feel something here, okay? Again, if you don't feel anything, feel free to make a nice pillow tower to help you get that stretch going. Okay, so while we're in the middle split, I'll go in here. We're gonna come in and out. So I'm actually gonna pull my legs in, yeah, and then use my leg muscles to go ahead and rotate that out and pull them in, yeah. You wanna do this about 5 times, get those leg muscles going, yeah, and then same thing forward. You'll pull through and back down. And back up, and back down. Very good. Awesome. So once we're here, let's go ahead and do the left and right split. Okay, we're gonna go back into that lunge. Sit into this lunge here. Good. Awesome. We should be tucking our hips in, okay? So make sure that we're not pushing those hips out. Booty should be nice and tucked in, yeah? Our knees are straight to our ankles, and we're actually just gonna push slightly forward, okay? Nothing too crazy. We're just pulling that hip in, and you should feel a nice stretch here in your quads. Hold that. From there, once you're done, you're gonna go back into that extended split, or extended stretch with the front leg straight and your back leg at 90 degrees. Once you feel like you're nice and warm, you can go ahead and extend into your splits. So from this position, you can actually just extend into your split. Hold this for about 15 to 30 seconds, and then rotate that in and out with your left leg as well. If you want to go ahead and pause the video here, just to get that body part warmed up, get those legs moving and get those splits going. Sounds good. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. So if you're ready, let's go. So next thing on my list is we're going to do tilt stretches, okay? So if you have a chair at home that you want to use, if you're in the kitchen, or if you're in your bedroom and you have a chair, feel free to go ahead and grab that. So tilt splits or tilt kicks are actually pretty easy. You just have to have the muscle group built as well as your flexibility. So doing those middle splits, your right and left split are going to be essential to doing your tilts, okay? So when you're doing a tilt, okay, the easiest way to do it and get used to doing it is turning that base foot out, okay? So almost like you're in first position, we want to turn the base foot out. From here, I'm going to go ahead and grab under this leg, yeah, and you're holding it with your hand, yeah? Some people's legs will be down here, that's fine. I've got mine all the way up here, okay? Hold on to that chair, that's going to be helpful. While you're turning that foot out here, I'm also going to push my hip out as well. So this is turned in, turned out, yeah? Sounds good? Now, this would be, in our case, a regular kick. This would be the tilt position, okay? From here, you can actually extend the leg up into a tilt. So what we want to do is get you used to tilting your hip in and out, yeah? So go ahead and break it down. We're going to hold onto the leg, we're going to pull our leg up by our knee, and we're just going to practice rotating the hip out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and do about 10 of those, and then you're going to add on to the next part. We're going to grab to our knee, hold and turn our feet out, okay? We're going to extend our leg every time we turn out. So I'm going to turn out, bring my foot back in, and turn out, bring my foot back in, okay? You're going to do about 5 to 10 of those, okay? Depending on how well you want to get warmed up and do all that for you. So one more time, you'll grab onto your chair. We're gonna turn our foot out, grab hold of our knee, turn out, and extend, and bring it in. Woo! Almost fell over. Yeah, sometimes you might feel like you're gonna fall over. That's okay. Bring it back down, regroup, tighten that core, and go for it again. Cool? We'll rotate sides. So again, same thing. We're gonna grab hold of our chair. I'm gonna grab from under my knee, rotate that hip out, push, extend, bring it down, and extend, and bring it down, and extend, and bring it down. Very good. Do about 5 to 10 on each side, okay? Next up, we're actually gonna get ready for our turns. Now it's really important that you have a core in order to do these turns. So we're gonna do some crunches, okay? And some simple ones that I like to do are basic crunches. I like to do my legs up and do crunches from here. From there, I'll go into a bounce here and bicycles. So we'll go through a quick crunch order, and then I'll let you go ahead and pause the video so you can finish the other 2 reps, okay? So the first one we're gonna do is about 15 crunches per set. I'm gonna shorten it down, so we're gonna do 5. Go ahead and pause the video after we do this, and go ahead and do the 15 for 2 reps, okay? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go into my bicycles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. I'm gonna go ahead and raise my legs up, stay in this up position, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. So go ahead and pause the video. Do 2 reps with 15 crunches of each type. If you're done with that, we're actually gonna go ahead and finish the crunch section off by doing a plank. Go ahead and do 2 to 3 planks, 1 minute each, okay? So just a plank, just to remind you if you don't know what a plank is, we're gonna come up onto our elbows, push up on the balls of our feet into a nice plank. We wanna be very careful, not have our booties up here or our booties too low, okay? Nice big straight line. Look at the floor, and you're gonna hold this for a minute. Perfect. Hope you guys are feeling good. I'm sure you're a little sore from your crunches, but we got a good class going on. All right, so from here, we're actually gonna do planches, okay? If you have a wall in your house, which I'm sure you do, you can use your wall to do planches. If you're not freely close to a wall, you can do these without, okay? So if you're gonna go ahead and do the wall, all you're gonna do is place your hands on the floor. The wall is going to be behind me, okay? I'm gonna place my hands on the floor. I'm going to bring my leg up over on the wall and extend here. Yeah, really push that leg into the wall and hold that stretch, okay? You really want to try and get your splits up on the wall as best you can. Try and bring that front foot as close to the wall. So if my wall is here on this line and I'm extending, I want to try and bring this foot as close into the wall as possible, okay? Go ahead and hold that. Once you're done holding this, here, we're going to bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and come down. Good. You're gonna rotate to the opposite leg and do about 2 to 3 reps of those. You're definitely gonna feel it in the buns, but just push through that pain and it's gonna be good results at the end. All right, so if you're ready for all that, we're gonna get into our turns and then finally our kicks, and then we're good. I hope you're feeling great so far. So for turns, I'm gonna move this big guy out of the way. I'm gonna start off with a basic prep, okay? I'm actually gonna tighten my shirt so you guys can see my hips. It's gonna be super important, okay? After all of those crunches that we just did and our glute workout with our planches, this is gonna be essential for what we're about to do next, okay? So it's really important when you do turns that you keep your core nice and tight, our gut and our booty is nice and tucked in. We wanna squeeze, squeeze, squeeze like nobody's business, okay? It's also gonna be very important to pull that chest up, shoulders back, nice long neck, yeah? It's good to be just nice and relaxed up top so that way we're not all tense and scrunched over when we're trying to do our turns, okay? It's really important to pull that chest up, okay? Also very important to keep our knees nice and straight and tight, okay? So really tightening this muscle here and our hamstrings up in the back is gonna be really good for holding that releve, okay? So when we do turns, we go out in 1-2. I'm gonna go ahead and do a jazz turn. So I'm in parallel, then I come out to the front, yeah? This is good balance. It'll help with your balance to have a good prep, okay? And what I mean by that is making sure that I'm either not too far forward or too far back, yeah? If I'm too far back and I push up, I'm gonna go forward. If I'm too far forward and I push up, I'm also gonna go forward. So just make sure that you're nice and square. And a good way to indicate that you're nice and square is actually feeling balanced here. You shouldn't feel like you have too much weight in the front leg or too much weight in the back leg. You should be nice and square with the floor, okay? From here, I'm actually gonna pull up into releve and hold the passe, yeah? Right now, here, if I pull up, I'm tightening that knee back, squeezing my core, tightening my glutes, squeeze, 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 open into second, okay? So one more time, I'm holding that balance. I'm gonna come up on flat, squeeze, 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 squeeze and hold it for as long as you can, okay? And then come out into second. Again, on the other side, I come out 1-2, come back on 3-4. Again, I'm making sure that I'm nice and square. I come up, tighten those knees, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And come back out into second. Very good. So go ahead and try that. We come back out 1-2. Yeah, nice big pointed toes. Come back on 3-4. Really squeeze into that prep and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and come out in second. Good. We're gonna do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to be also very careful not to do this. Yeah, don't let those hips sink into you. We don't want to sit on the hip. We also don't want to raise our hip up too much, okay? We want to make sure that we're nice and balanced, squaring those hips up, tightening those glutes, tightening your core, pulling that chest back. It's a lot to think about. Once you start getting into the rhythm of it and your muscle memory starts to kick in, it'll be nice and easy once you go in. You won't even have to think about it, okay? So go ahead and do, pause the video, go ahead and do 3 reps, 5 on each side, okay? You wanna do 1, 2, 3, 4, jazz, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and jazz. If you wanna do turned out, you'll go ahead and go start in first position, extend out to second. We're gonna hit a nice 4th position here and come out, turned out onto releve and back and forth, okay? So one more time, first position, open to second, back into 4th, come up and passe, back into 4th, okay? So go ahead and give both of those a try. Let's do about 2 to 3 reps, 5 times, okay? All right, at this point, we are good with our turn technique. Let's go ahead and get into kicks, and then I think we're good to go. Cool. So I'm actually gonna start from back here with our butt mas, okay? Again, it's very important we keep our knees nice and straight, chest is back, core is tightened. When we do our butt mas, I'm actually gonna start here. Arms are nice and straight and tight. If somebody was to come next to me and try to pull me down, they wouldn't be able to. I'd be nice and stiff, okay? So we're actually gonna plie from the start foot. So whichever foot you wanna start with, I'm going to plie on the foot and give a good battement. Up and plie when I come back down. And again, battement, come back down. And battement, come back down. Battement, come back down. Yeah, again, I'm rotating my chest. I shouldn't. Definitely try to keep that chest from rotating over to the side. So again, I'm gonna start with my left foot. I'm gonna go left and up, right and up. Yeah, left and up, right and up, down. Good, yeah. Go ahead and give those a couple tries. And then we're gonna start off with our side. So we're actually gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna cross in front, plie, and we're gonna tilt battement to the side, okay? So I'm gonna step in first, prep over to the side, give a good kick, and come back down. Yeah, and then we'll do the same thing again. Cross over to the side, battement to the side. Yeah, cross over to the side, battement, and down. Yeah, and battement, and down. And battement, and down. Good. Give those a couple of tries in your house, however much space you have. You don't have to continue going forward. Yeah, you can always step back and do it again. Cool? All right, I think we've got a good start to our stretching technique class. Some good basics to get us nice and warmed up. I'm so glad you tuned in to today's class. We really do appreciate it. You know, make sure you stay safe, stay healthy, wash those hands, cough into those elbows, sneeze into those elbows, and stay home if you're sick, okay? That way we can all come back and be in this dance room together. We miss you guys so much and love you. Thank you so much for your support, and tune in next week for a new class.